Yo, 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 people and patrons of the night, it is your boy BD, and I'm once again back to explore the limitless cavern that is the horror genre here at the Horror Tavern. It's happy hours, so make sure that you grab a seat, you take a drink, because we're going to be diving into something really cool today and something near to my heart. And that's because I'm going to be reviewing a new type of horror media on my channel starting today and beginning with this premiere video, which is short horror films. There is an abundance of short horror films and media out there on YouTube. You can check out a bunch of them. You probably see a bunch of them pop up on your feed if you're a horror fan. And a lot of the time they can be pretty mediocre, kind of weak. You know, there's not as much you need to put effort into in terms of short horror films. They're based on low budget. They got time constraints. They often leave on cliffhangers or mysterious stuff. And a lot of the time they just get dropped off into the void. But occasionally, as you're diving through the short horror film kind of media collection on YouTube, you can find hidden gems within that. And I think the short horror film that I'm covering today is a hidden gem that is criminally underrated. This short horror film only has 6,000 views, and yet despite having only 6,000 views and a dirt budget from a YouTube channel that focuses on making skits and short horror and just short movies in general, it does a fantastic job. It's got some good effects for what it is. It's got some nice body horror in there. It's got creature feature. It's got alien action, and it's got a really cool setting and premise to it. So I wanted to talk about it. So without further ado, let's get into my short horror film review of My Creature of a Girlfriend by the YouTube channel Oddest of Odds. Again, I'm going to link their short horror film video down in my video description, so please go check it out. Please go show them some love, subscribe, like the video, share it around, because again, it's only got 6,000 reviews. They deserve way more attention and way more love, because I think that this, in a mere 17 minutes of a dirt budget with some independent YouTube creators, is higher quality and much better than some horror movies that I've seen come out, or have seen basically in my time of watching horror movies, that have been pathetic. I mean, some modern horror movies too, like two of them that came out this year, Tarot 2024 and The Watchers 2024. Those two horror movies were fucking dog shit. And the fact that this is better than those, despite it being an independent YouTube short horror film, it's only got 6,000 views, and those pieces of dog shit, those pieces of rhino shit, those pieces of cicada smears happen to get like millions of views and a lot more money is ridiculous, and that's unfair as hell. So hopefully in the future this video somehow gets 5 million fucking views or something, and it brings in way more traffic and attention to the YouTube channel Oddest of Odds. But without further ado, let's do a review. It's going to be short. It's a short horror film, so I don't want to spoil too much. But you basically take on the perspective of the main character. He's played by one of my favorite YouTubers, PG. PG is a gaming YouTuber. He's friends with guys like Berleezy, who's also my top favorite gaming YouTuber. PG's really funny. I like all of his different content, the stuff that he does with his friends like, Berleezy and Joe Aiko. He's great, so I love seeing him in this short horror film. He's in there, and he plays basically this sort of nerdy, awkward guy who is shown watching this 1940s, 1950s sort of television program involving like an alien invasion. It's like a fictional story of like aliens invading the earth. People gotta fend them off. It's like these insectoid aliens that are smarter than humans. They're multiplying, they're taking on the forms of humans, and then creating alien hives to then breed and, spread their race across Earth, try to feed off of humans and thrive here, because I think they might have had a dying planet or something. And as he's watching this black and white horror movie, I think this short horror film takes place in the 1940s or 1950s, because you see the same main character then cut to going on to a blind date. He's in this old school, nice looking whip. He's driving on this dirt road, and he's going on this blind date with this blonde girl. She's got glasses, pretty looking, and he doesn't know where they're headed. She's sort of being mysterious and trying to kind of keep him a little bit excited, try to keep him a little bit on edge. And he's sort of just trying to figure out, like, what's this girl up to? Does she want to, do the do? Where's she trying to go? He doesn't really know anything about her, and he's kind of nervous that, what if her parents freak out that I'm with her because she's with this stranger of a guy that she's never met before or talked to. So just your typical sort of blind date back in the day. But what happens is that the car ends up stalling in the middle of the night on this sort of abandoned desert, up the hill road. And as that happens, the electronics, the radio and the stuff on his car starts going crazy. It starts going haywire as if something is passing over his vehicle. He starts looking up and thinking that there might be some sort of satellite disruption or some sort of electronical problem going on. And as he's trying to basically get the car booted up, you start slowly flashing back to the night that he was watching this old school kind of alien program. And in between the short horror film, you'll keep cutting back and forth between his current situation to the flashback of him watching this alien TV show, because you find out that the stuff involving that show has some parallels to the stuff that's happening to him in real life. Because as he gets out of the car and tries to fix it, he sees that his girlfriend, the girl that he's going on a blind date with, happens to actually be gone from the car. And when he looks over and tries to find her, he sees her just outside of the headlights out in the darkness of the road, and she's not normal. She turns around and he sees that she's eating her own arm. She's eating the flesh off of her arm, and next thing you know, the arm basically gets ripped down to the bone and it falls off. And as it falls off, you see this insectoid weird appendage that starts coming out of her arm. And soon the main character realizes, yeah, my girlfriend might be more than meets the eye. There might be some freaky weird shit going on, and potentially all that stuff that I was seeing in that alien fictional, old school TV show talking about aliens taking over, taking on the form of humans, creating a hive and all this extra bullshit, that might actually be happening to me right now. And he has to basically reflect back on that TV show to find out what he should do. How can he get out of this situation? What's the best actions to take? And it's very hard for him to slowly come up with a plan while at the same time not freak out, because he's in a creature feature slasher situation at the moment. And the fate of the world ends up in this poor guy's hands. This short horror film is very intense. It's very creepy. It's got a really good ambiance and atmosphere to it. I love the premise of taking this 1940s, 1950s old school Twilight Zone era feeling, alien fictional TV show, and then comparing, or movie or TV show, I don't know what program it is, but taking that and then flashing it back and forth and paralleling it to what the current situation is happening to the main character. I think that's really cool because you get a good idea as to what the potential threat he's dealing with is, what the plan of this creature or beings may be, what are some of the options and things that he can do in order to stop them, and how can he get out of the situation. So just the idea that you end up in the same situation of a TV show or movie that you were watching one late night happens to come true is horrifying. But it's also clever because then you're put into a situation where you have to remember what type of shit you saw, how can you get out of it, how can you fix the situation. That's very clever, and I like the way it's done. I like the old school setting of the car. I like the outfits that they wear. The main character excuse me, played by the YouTuber PG, he's a little bit of an awkward actor, but I think it's meant to be awkward. You can kind of tell that he's kind of playing it up, kind of being on the nose of this nervous sort of, kind of like if you ever play a horror video game, that sort of nervous NPC kind of character that has to figure out a way to get out of this absurd situation. And the body horror in this short horror film is crazy. When you get the reveal of the creature and you see some of the body horror transformation scenes involving that, it's horrific. And the design on the monster is horrific. Some of the stuff involving the transformation scene is really well done. And again, it's like a mixture of CGI and practical, and I like that. I like CGI mixed in to enhance some practical effects. It looks really good and well done. And again, if this is what the YouTubers, the oddest of the odd, were able to do with this shoestring budget and, lack of resources, lack of promotion, and again, only getting a little bit of views, that is criminal. Because again, there's a lot of shit horror movies that drop out there every single year, especially some of the modern shit that's been coming out. And again, two of the movies I saw this year, Tarot and The Watchers, despite their budget, despite the promotional material, despite the amount of, views and tickets they sold, that shit was not worth it. But these guys need to get a full movie budget, full movie screen time, because I think that they could make something really special. And I suggest you go watch this. Again, link is going to be in my bio down below. This short horror film is only 17 minutes long, but it's a nice watch. It's got the stuff you want in there: body horror, creature feature, good ambiance, good setting, just a feel-good sort of horror movie. And it makes you wish that it could be turned into either a full-scale thing, or these guys that made this could get a budget and make a full movie. Because I would trust these guys to make a full movie. I think it'd be pretty good. And you know what? It would be better than some of the shit that's unfortunately been coming out these past few years. So shout out to the Oddest of Odd. Shout out to the YouTuber PG. And again, please go check out this short horror film. It's definitely a hidden gem amongst the short horror film media out there. My Creature of a Girlfriend, I would probably give this like an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. It's really good. I enjoy it, and I suggest all of you go watch it, especially if you like alien invasion stories, especially if you like creature feature and you like the old school settings of like the 1940s and 1950s. That's all I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this review, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button down below. It's free. Lets me know you guys are engaged with the content, and also pushes my content out there in the algorithm, so that way it can get out to all of you guys and you guys have good and fun stuff to watch. Let me know some possibly great short horror films on YouTube that you've seen. You can let me know the names of them down below, and I can go watch them and plan to review them. I have a few more that I have under my sleeve that I plan to review because I've seen them before and think that they're also great. So stay tuned for that. And of course, I got your typical stuff: movie reviews, book reviews, episode reviews from TV shows. All that good stuff is going to keep on coming out. So please stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoy. And stay cool, stay classy. Deuces. But yeah, please go check out this short horror film. Again, only 6,000 views. That shit is criminal, man. You guys deserve way more love. And believe me, anything could be better than some of the shit that's been coming out.